And welcome back to Grim Dawn. Okay, so last time I found a mystic Scorpius pummeler of binding, which seems to be pretty good. However, I cannot use it just yet, requires player level 84. So we'll have to wait for a bit to use it. And I do have these lore notes in the inventory that I did not read last time, so let's start by reading them, or at least until my voice gives out. Death to the usurper. Praises be upon the three. Praises be upon their wisdom, their foresight, and their pity upon mankind. For without their blessings we would be as worthless husks, devoid of the gifts of the eldritch realm and at the mercy of the luminary hounds. Curses be upon the usurper, the burning vengeance, the Corvan destroyer. Curses be upon his lust for the eldritch thrones, the pinnacle of the gods. May he die 1,000 deaths as a Dreeg suffers 1,000 festering wounds. May his insides fill with spiders and his eyes turn to ash by eldritch fire. All this we invoke upon the usurper of the eldritch powers, powers meant to be wielded by the true gods and their servants. We march through the blistering sands and into the heart of flame, the whispers of Dreeg in our ears, the hounds of Bismiel at our side, the black flame of Solile upon our blades. None shall be spared before our wrath. By the gifts of our patrons we will reclaim what is theirs, and though our blood shall spill upon the Corvan sands, it will be done in honor of the true masters of humanity. Okay, next one. Harnessing the Forgotten. There are ulterior motives to my selecting this location for our conclave. The Dreeg seers have no doubt felt it by now, and your spiders have suspected. Yes, the veil is thin here, and yes, that enables the cults to better work with the gifts of the Eldritch Realm. But another source of power lies buried at our fingertips. At my behest, one of our most gifted scholars in the Veil's mysteries, Mazan, is working on harnessing this power. As you well know, there are other realms, other constructs of the primordial gods. The statues adorning this sacred place are more than just mere decoration. They are conduits between realities and could be manipulated to form a gateway with enough force of will. I believe Mazan is close to a breakthrough, and once he succeeds, we will have an entire realm of untapped potential to harness for our purposes. I, for one, am eager to see what we uncover if past experience is any indication. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. Visions of Terror. Okay, this is a longer one. This place we have chosen for our vigil, this conclave, it is a cursed land. The wail screams in agony, the whispers from beyond threaten to unravel reality. Every night I've spent here, the visions of the other side came more frequently and with greater clarity. What I first thought were images of darkness turned out to be much more. Within it were the screams of 1,000,000 souls crying out to me, crying out for mercy. As my dreams solidified, I realized that the darkness moved. It writhed like a mass of tentacles, endlessly searching for something. The sight of it filled me with terror beyond anything I've ever felt. I awoke gasping for breath and grasping for anything within reach that would remind me that I've left the dream, to the chagrin of my fellow seers sharing the tent. Shaken and unable to sleep, I sought the wisdom of the oracle. To my surprise, or perhaps I should have expected this, my master was already waiting for me inside his tent. Lanterns illuminated him in their flickering light as he sat cross-legged, without his usual regalia, on a rug with a tea set out for us. As he stared ahead with his blank eyes, he gave me a tight-lipped smile and motioned for me to sit. Before I could utter a word, he said, "Yugel, I was taken aback and blinked. The oracle continued by describing exactly what I had seen in my dreams as if he had been there to share them with me. The insatiable night, he called it. The eternal darkness that exists in the beyond. It is primordial, unfathomable to the human mind. We see it as a mass of writhing tentacles, but what it truly is cannot be described in words. Yugal exists to consume everything, its endless pursuit halted only by the light of the celestial stars. I was told that it is a gift and a burden to bear witness to the makings of reality. What I had seen cannot be unseen. When I started visibly shaking, the oracle placed his palm upon my forehead, and for a moment I could swear his eye tattoos were staring at me. Yet I found myself instantly calmed. When I asked what he had done, he would not say, but he offered to teach me a technique to calm myself and banish the darkness from my nightmares. It is a lucid method by which I would conjure my own stars into the dream, brighter than the desert sun. I thanked him for his wisdom and promised to return the next eve for my lesson. As I stood to leave, I glanced in his direction. He was staring ahead, as before, a somber expression on his face. His tea remained untouched. I said no more and closed the tent flap behind me. It would seem my visions have disturbed the oracle as well, but I trust that his judgment and foresight will carry us through whatever darkness looms on the horizon. I pray to Drieg that the oracle's teachings will spare me further nightmares. Alright, I think I'll leave this last lore note for later. Let's do something else now. So, let's see. I think I've done at least one quest. So where is the guy who I need to talk with? Okay, over there. Always in the last place you look. Oh, never mind. Here he is. Elaine.
Were you successful? Do you have the blood?
Yes, I have blood.
Yes. The power coming off their blood is intoxicating. This is exactly what Bismiel demands. Here, a small gift from the Eldritch realm for your efforts.
Alright, was there anything else?
What I must ask of you next is much more dangerous, but perhaps more exotic, depending on your taste for travel.
Where am I going?
Few mortals ever witnessed the splendor of the Eldritch realm, but the Lady of Whispers has blessed us with a riftstone, granting us brief access to a secluded portion of her realm. Therein dwells a creature known as Galfang, the Night Terror. Bismiel has decreed that its time has come. Its essence will be made to serve. You are to enter the realm of the gods and track down this creature. Slay it, and bring me the core of eldritch energies that swirls within its chest. Bismiel demands it be so.
Well, okay, but what is the Eldritch realm?
I have never witnessed it for myself, but Basila has told us of its splendors. It is a reality quite unlike our own, with bizarre beasts and vegetation that strafe the edges of our comprehension. Sometimes these creatures breach the veil and enter our reality, as many had following the Grim Dawn and its effects upon the barrier between realities. The Eldritch realm is a place of wild, untamed arcane energies, which the witch gods draw upon for their godly displays. They share but a taste of this power with their loyal servants in return for unflinching loyalty. Once you experience the euphoria of the Eldritch, you will forever crave more.
Okay, well, if you say so, I will track down the creature. Oh, and it opened a portal or a rift here. Oh, sure. Sure. Veiled Den. And of course there are enemies inside. Alright, good talk. Let's move on, okay. Another lore note. Suppose I will read that here. My voice has recovered a little bit. Let's kill this Korvax servant first, though. Alrighty. Terrors of the Eldritch Realm. I must admit, at first I was thrilled with my discovery. To defy the witch gods and transport myself to their domain without their knowledge was an exhilarating prospect. Even more so when I succeeded. What I did not account for, however, is the intrinsic instability of the realm I had traveled to. The land itself, as astounding to behold as it is, shifts within a vast emptiness. The portal I had ripped through the well became unstable within minutes of my exploration. I gasped in dismay from a distance as it ruptured and vanished before my eyes. Without my reagents back on Cairn, I cannot possibly create another rift. My only chance now is to study the local flora in the hopes of discovering alternatives to my spell. This is a realm of raw, wild magic after all. Surely, if the witch gods can harness it, then so can I! There are, however, more pressing concerns. While I seem to have evaded the infinite gaze of Grieg, I have attracted the attention of local wildlife. Most appear to be harmless, ravens with feathers that shimmer in the sunlight fly overhead and lizard-like creatures skitter around my feet. But from time to time I hear the bushes shift violently as something larger passes by. Unnatural sounds echoing in the distance have sent a chill down my spine on more than one occasion. Worse still, the sounds are getting closer. I'm starting to believe now that my success was not so much due to outsmarting the gods themselves, but them knowing that I was doomed to begin with. This is not the domain of humans. It is an untamed realm teeming with creatures beyond comprehension, and I have become their prey. Okay, so it's a nasty place. Weird and nasty. Much like every other place in Grim Dawn, but maybe slightly weirder. Alrighty. Keep on killing. I suppose I will pick up the bristly fur. Alright, something's dealing damage. Not sure what. Is it you? No, you're dead now.
That skill's not ready.
Alright, and there's the thing. Galfang, Night Terror. Alright, sure. Let's kill its friends first. Good dog. That's a nice puppy. Alright, seems to be pretty easy. There we are. Pick up the junk and open the chest. And let's get the hell out of here. Okay. Speak with you again.
Well, do you have it?
Well, yes, I have the core of Galfang.
Was the Eldritch realm as stunning as the stories say? You will have to tell me about your journey later. Right now, we must bring the blood and the core to Basilla. She has a plan for them.
Alright, and I get a tonic of clarity. A potion to reset devotion points, if I'd like. What else does Priscilla need?
I believe it's time you spoke with her yourself. I've done everything she's asked. Seek her out at our forward camp, the vanguard of the Three, far to the north, past the Sunbane Oasis and through the Howling Chasm.
Okay, sure. Alright, and I will read this last lore note here. My hands are not my own. Okay, it's a long one again. I write this final letter so those who may find this know what had transpired. Know that I am not a sinister man and would never murder anyone in cold blood. Okay, so hot blood it is then. But through some evil dwelling within this place, that is precisely what had happened. I came to these lands with my two companions, Harnen and Belik. After weeks of travel through accursed sands, we at last came to see the spires of Corben ruins. They were stabbing up from the haze of the horizon, like the rotten ribs of some great dead god. It was not until we stepped foot inside the first tomb that I began hearing the whispers. I kept asking what the others were muttering about, but they would laugh, saying that I was merely hearing things. Well, you were. As our days of digging and opening tombs continued, I became convinced that they were conspiring to slit my throat. I refused to sleep. I grew weary and delusional. The whispers kept gnawing at my mind. Yesterday, as we made our way into the latest tomb, the voices took their toll. We had found a small opening on the surface through which we were able to descend via rope. As soon as my feet touched the dusty tiles, however, I was but a passenger in my own body, trapped behind my own eyes. As my companions moved into the inky depths, my hands reached for the rope and soaked it with lamp oil. I screamed to warn the others, but I had no voice. I stared in horror as our only means of escape vanished in a brief blaze. Deeper inside, I found Harnen overlooking a golden railing near a waterfall. My hands came up into my visions as if to push him. I tried to fight my arms down. I commanded my mouth to make any noise, but nothing came of it. I was powerless and could only watch as his hands shot out in desperation, grasping for anything within reach. The railing, the wall, me. His eyes met mine with the final fearful question, why? Then he was gone, tumbled over the railing and out of sight into the ravine. Belik was not far from my grisly deed. I found him admiring the intricate work of a gold-encrusted statue. The figure was frightening, with too many arms gripping a razor-sharp halberd as if at the ready to defend the tomb. There was an eerie quality of unlife about it that made my blood run cold. In a flash, my hands were wrapped around Belik's arms and I lifted him with inhuman strength way up into the air before forcing his back onto the statue's weapon. I released him and watched as he slowly slid down the length of the halberd, his blood pouring down along the shaft and pooling at the foot of the statue. It was at that moment, when my last friend was dead, that whatever spell had enthralled me had ended. Freed from my mental prison, I screamed and wailed and pounded on the cold stones like a distraught child. For a brief moment I could swear I saw a withered face clad in golden armor staring back at me, but then it was gone. I can't say when or how, but I pulled Belik down off the statue. Nor do I know how long I lay there holding my dead friend. My mind was broken. There was no hope of escape, I saw to that. By my own hand I became trapped down here to waste away and rot to bone with my fallen companions. I needed to write this. If not for myself, then for my friends. I can only pray their spirits know in their hearts that it was not me, and they will greet me with forgiveness when I see them beyond the veil. Gods preserve me, my hands were not my own. Alright, another fun bedtime story. Okie dokie. Let's sell some junk here.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
Let's move that there so I don't accidentally sell it. Alright, that is done. Now let's continue killing things. I guess there's something here though. From Cargon.
Greetings, Seeker.
Word around the camp is that you'll be traveling out past the gates. Well, I already did. If so, I have a bit of a situation that you could help me with. Sure. What is it? It's about my apprentice Kanan, or more specifically the thing I sent Kanan to retrieve. You lost your apprentice, really? Yes, well, good help is remarkably hard to come by, and I'm in no condition to be traveling out past the walls. In any case, yes, he is lost. I sent him to the Valley of the Chosen in search of a unique text, the Tome of Ianatum. It was a simple enough task that he should have handled readily and quickly. Well, that's a bit dubious, but okay. That was more than 2 days ago. Oh, come on, you have a lot to say, huh? I spoke to the Sentinels this morning, and they say Kanan had been spotted heading back through the Sunbane Oasis, east of the Karen Docks to the north, yesterday. If he was returning, it must mean that he found it. I now suspect the worst, that he made off with my tome. Yes, that is the worst thing that could have possibly happened. Apprentices are like flies, but that tome is one of a kind. Didn't you just say that good help is remarkably difficult to find? I need it recovered. If you're headed out that way, find the Tome of Ianatum. Take it from Kanan's incompetent grasp if you must. His life is secondary to its recovery. For a touch of motivation, you should know the contents of that tome may greatly benefit us both. Okay, whatever you say. Alright, so yeah, let's create a rift gate and continue exploring. And by exploring, I mean killing things. At least in part. Alrighty. Zombies and maggots. Lovely. Or I guess these are mummies. Yeah, they're mummies. Let's be precise. Oh, is this a secret? No. No, it is not. Okay. Good talk. Okay, let's patiently wait for the minions to destroy these things. And it seems that here we have something. Hello there. So here's Elita and Kite. Alright, well. Oh, thank the three! You got here just in time. Those things had us cornered. Listen, we're in no condition to continue, but we need to get out of here. Do you think you could help us? I've been looking for you. Kaizen sent me. I knew they wouldn't just leave us out here. We need to get back, but we can't just leave our supplies here. That would be frowned upon. If we come back without these supplies, we might as well slit our own throats. Well, I can open a rift. Is that any safer, given what roams the Eldritch Realm? You know what? It doesn't matter. Do whatever you need to. Whatever it takes to get us out of here. Okay. Always glad to help. There's probably nothing this way, but let's see. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Continue west in that case. That's a really sturdy looking bridge right there. Okay, and a totem is here, but I suppose I'll kill these other things first. There we are. Arcane is the arcane. Sure. Makes sense. Also, let's back off a little bit.
That skill's not ready.
Goodbye, Arcanis. Alright. Get one legendary item out of that. If I remember correctly, it's like a poison item. Well, a kind of piercent acid. And also a blueprint. Shrapnel gun. Well, I don't think I'll ever be crafting that, but why the hell not? And let's explore every little nook that we have. Alright, time for new enemy types, it seems. Griffons and Corvan Vipers. Well, let's go this way first, I guess. I really do like that they added the auto-looting of components into the game. It used to be far more tiresome picking those things up. Okay, head on down again. Grobbles. Okay. Grobbles and beetles. Fiend Gaze Tome. Okay, well that's an actual pet item. Is it any good though? 59% physical damage converted to chaos. Well, I don't know. Does that help me at all currently? I don't think I have like any. Well, maybe one of these does something, so does anything lower the resistances of enemies is the question. I don't remember. At a quick glance, it looks like that is not the case. Well, I haven't been really needing it. Whatever. Anyway, let's take a closer look at the item. Compare it to the Dread Guard. I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't seem all that great. Fiend's Gaze, 15% chance on attack. Well, I'm never attacking anything because I want to be lazy. So I think I'll actually not use that item. This is one of the laziest builds I've ever made. I've made a couple of auto-attack builds that basically have like 1 or 2 skills. They just left-click on enemies. And maybe have like a buff or something to go alongside that. Usually just like have a podcast or YouTube open on the other monitor if I do that. Grim Dawn is good and in that it gives you a lot of options and basically all of them are viable enough for you to complete the story at least. At least if there are some synergies in what you're doing. Well, probably even without synergies. Story, it seems, is pretty easy to complete on ultimate difficulty as well. The challenge of the end game comes from the roguelike dungeons and the Shattered Realm and the Crucible DLC. And there are also Nemesis bosses and Celestials. Speaking of which, I think this is one of them. Can I even do anything with it currently? Sacrificial altar. The surface of the altar is scorched as if by potent magic. It may be dangerous to rouse its potential. So if I remember correctly, that's one of the most difficult bosses in the game. I've killed it a couple of times on ultimate difficulty a while ago. The retaliation build was able to do it fairly easily, but even so I needed to be careful and it took some time. They might have rebalanced that fight though, I don't know. But if I remember correctly, that thing deals horrendous amounts of damage and also tanks like a SOB. If that is what I'm thinking about. And here is Horvan Titanavore. Jurassic Park. It is pretty easy though. Alright, come on. Speaking of Jurassic Park, the first film is kind of a masterpiece, but well, I haven't seen all of them because I got disheartened by their quality all the way back when there were just a reasonable amount of them. And they're still making them. So I guess they're still making money. That or Hollywood is completely out of ideas. Or both. Probably both. Yeah, I was kind of into dinosaurs when I was a kid. I guess most small boys are, to some extent at least. Agony, okay. Legendary 100 mace. Won't be using it. Let's scout the rest of this area before I get the rift gate. It seems this is continuing somewhere though. Okay. Dead end, and how about here? Leads back. Okay. Alright. Scout this little area. Nothing. How about here? Okay, that's for more. Heron docks. Don't see any water. Water everywhere. Yet nary a drop to drink.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, it seems they killed a champion. Sometimes you don't even notice.
That skill's not ready.
Hello, Balganzor, the deceased. I'll just keep a discreet distance. Don't want to be infected. Okay, and let's scout this area as well.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, something's dealing damage. Let's back off and resummon.
Can't do that yet.
Sometimes the cooldowns of the pet skills does come into play. Alright, come on. There we are. Alright, seems there's nothing of note there. Euhania's diary. Okay, where did that go? Here? Father would have me hanged if he knew, but he should be none the wiser. Anhad called to me this evening, whistling like the evening sparrow from the garden below my window. He pleaded with me to join him, and I could not resist. Silently we snuck past the night guard, through the gardens, over walls, out of sight, down to the docks, where I paused for a moment in amazement. They were ablaze with activity. I couldn't believe my eyes. While the rest of the city slept, the docks positively hummed with activity. I'd never seen them at night. Anhard grasped my hand and snapped me out of my stupor. He led me down a secret path, running next to the docks out past the last ship. From there we could see the bay stretching out before us. Its rippled surface sparkled in the light of Atep. It was more beautiful than I could have imagined. We could see ships entering the bay, their sails like pale specters against the jewel-filled night sky. It was Anhard's plan all along for us to go swimming. Swimming, of all things. Father would lose his mind. He's forbidden me to swim. He says it's inappropriate for a young woman. Anhard has promised to teach me, but tonight he guided me down to the shore so I could wade in up to my waist. The water was like a warm bath, and Nirdu fish nibbled at my toes as I walked. Anhard swam out past the pier so far I could barely make him out against the glimmering water. I've heard there are massive fish that linger out there, waiting for a ship to drop scraps for someone to fall overboard, or for someone to fall overboard, but now I think those are mere tales people tell children to keep them from swimming. Why would they want to keep anyone from doing this? It's incredible. I will certainly teach my children to swim in the bay one day. Sure you will. Sure you will. Okay. Seems that the enemies are still going down relatively easily, but it does take a bit longer to kill them, and they are occasionally able to kill the minions. So that means my equipment or my build is not optimized. Beast Caller's Shroud. Okay, so that is unsurprisingly a pet item. Chest armor. I would lose out on quite a few resistances if I used it, so let's not use it at least yet. But maybe if I find the other parts then again. That is the lower level version of that set item, meaning that once I progress sufficiently enough, I won't even see them drop. I'll instead get the mythical versions. And there was another lore note. I'll read it in a moment. For your pleasure or displeasure, whichever it may be. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Where did it go? Over there. Okay. Captain Freinhol's log. After more than a month's travel, we've reached the port of Keran. The port at Keran. And a hard month it was. The crew has suffered more than they deserve. During our first week at sea, a freak storm flooded the hold and ruined a fair portion of our better provisions. The steward's been forced to dole out smaller portions than I'm sure he'd like. There were more than a few threats to his life, come mealtimes. To add to the lean conditions, a particularly bold band of native pirates attempted to board the ship from a small canoe as we passed near the Tarkan Islands. I didn't know what they were thinking at the time, as they had little chance of sacking the ship. Not a one of them was fully dressed, and only 2 of the 5 were armed, if you can call it that. They carried no more than roughly fashioned spears. Little did we know they were so lethal. The crew's response was expectedly concise, and the attempted raid was stopped almost before it started. However, 2 of the crew, Bargan the deckhand and Renet, our new swabby, sustained minor injuries from the incident. Both took ill and died no more than a day later. It turned out those half-naked bastards were planning to poison us all in our sleep. They got what they deserved. Hog-tied and keel-hauled. Some of the crew suggested less savory ends, but it's important not to allow the rabble to run rampant in such situations. As it is, I allowed them to keep the hands. It's a foul practice if you ask me, but they do fetch a fine coin if you can source the right buyer. I'm sure the old boatswain, Yarik, will have no trouble finding someone to sell them to here. This is to be the first of 3 nights at port as the ship's cargo is sold and her hold replenished. I've given the crew their leave, which I am sure they will take at local taverns and homes of ill repute. As is well deserved, no doubt. I shall tend to the ship's business and attend to source cargo for our return journey. The Keren port is truly a sight to behold, many times larger than any this captain has seen in his many years at sea. Hundreds of ships make landfall and just as many, with bellies full of cargo, wait at the mouth of the river. The docks churn like a well-oiled machine and the pristine city beyond glistens in the moonlight as if bathing in its rays. Yet, in my short time ashore, I have seen the all but hidden evidence of the dark underbelly that bolsters any successful port. Back alley dealings, wealthy merchants treading on the less fortunate. A ship whose hold is overflowing with bound and chained folk, stolen from a far-off land. I'm certain our return journey will be a profitable one, though I hope to haul a less unsavory cargo. Alright, more world building. Okay, let's explore in this direction. Cult of Bismiel. Okay. They're helping. Don't need to kill everything. Alright, seems that's everything in that direction. Let's go this way. Okay, and here is something. Also, yet another lore note. Okay, I will not read that just yet, at least. Ruin entrance. Oh, and there was a guy there. Okay, let's speak with him. Having a nice nap there. Argyle. Okay, let's kill this thing. And that. Now the question is, do you actually have a voice actor?
Hey, I could use some help over here.
Well, you kind of do. I think my leg is broken. Anorak sent me. Also, I'm taking damage from something. Anorak sent you? That figures. That guy worries like an old woman. He's always after us to be careful and watch out for each other. Though, I guess he was right this time. He's always right. It's incredibly annoying. Where's your brother? I don't know. I mean, he told me to run and he looked horrified, so I booked it. I never looked back to check on him. The whole temple started shaking. It was like an earthquake or something. I fell coming up the stairs, busted my leg up pretty bad. When I yelled out for Andaran to help me, he wasn't there. So I hauled myself the rest of the way up the stairs. He's still down in the temple? He must be. He certainly didn't pass me on his way out. I'd go down there looking for him, but I can't walk, not with my leg like this. Are you going down there to find him? Yes. How are you going to do that? I'm certainly not walking out. Like that. And off you go. Sand-blown ruins. I'll just ignore some of these enemies here. Right, is that the second level? Yeah. And here is a rotting corpse. It's not... Well, actually it is. Never mind.
My inventory is full.
And also my inventory is full. But here is Enderan.
Hey, stop fiddling with my body!
You shouldn't go around messing with every random corpse you come across. You're dead. Yeah, no kidding. You're a smart one, ain't ya? Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. This is just a new thing for me. Being dead? Yeah, being dead. Are you toying with me? I gotta be honest, stranger, I don't feel dead. I mean, I can see you there poking around my corpse, but here I am, just standing here. I guess I'm a ghost or something. What do you know about that? Your brothers sent me to find you. Aral and Enerak. So Aral made it out alright? That damn rat. When I told him to run, I didn't mean for him to take off on me. I suppose I can't blame him. I probably scared the pants off him, screaming about how we had to get out of here. What happened down here? Well, we got down to the heart of the temple, expecting to find nothing but skeletons and a bunch of loot. But there's a crazy old man down there with an army of ghosts. Without so much as saying hello, the old freak cast some sort of spell at me. I panicked and told Aral to run. We took off for the exit like a couple of scared kids, and the whole place started shaking, rocks falling from the ceiling and everything. Oh, you have a lot to say. I was dodging left and right, but I think one of them must have clocked me right in the melon, cause everything went black all of a sudden. Then the next thing I remember is looking down at you snooping around my body. Must be the old man's spell that turned me into a ghost, or whatever this is. Something tells me I ain't getting out of here till somebody puts a stop to that old bastard's scheming. Don't suppose you're up for a good fight? Wanna go down there and beat some sense into that old weirdo? Yes, I will. But first I need to offload the junk that I've picked up, killing things. So let's do that. Alrighty.
See what's left of my wares.
Once again, so many things to get rid of. And I will blow up the blue items, but not now. So let's just sell all the green junk. Okay, there we are. Let's go back. Also, as we can see, there is no water around the Cairn docks. There is a river here, though. Don't think that's what's referred to. I think there's been like a cataclysmic event or something. Alright, let's scout the rest of this level. Don't imagine there's anything here, though. I don't think that's going to be necessary to scout. Let's just go down. Okay, and there is a shrine here. Is it a desecrated one though? Yes it is, and that's a level up. Okay, lots of things to kill. I think I'll just activate the shrine here. Generally these are far easier than totems are. Though something is killing the skeletons at a rapid pace. Okay, but there we go, and get a cinder scorn out of that. A fire weapon, it seems. Also blueprint for a relic. I'm still using the level 25 relic, by the way. Well, seems like it's not necessary to upgrade. And I'll just put my skill points into the Briar Thorn. Let's trigger these things. Do a little bit of grave robbing as well, because why the hell not? Well, it might be considered archaeology at this point. Also, is this a secret? Yes. Not a very exciting one, but it is one. Okay, what do we have over here? An opulent chest. How about here? Sarcophagus. Alright. And now there is only one way to go. And here's the big nasty guy, Tyrgen, the mad priest. Hello, Tyrgen. How are you? How are you doing?
I can't do that yet.
Okay, minions are dying. But so is he. Oh, and he has a second form. Okay. Tyrgen the Unbound. And he has help as well. At least a little bit. I guess it's only fair. Okay, Mythical Cord of a Violent Decay. Cold Vitality Aether. Damage. Belt. As well as a blueprint, and it seems nothing else is here. Okay. Well, in that case, let's get out of here. And we are here. Okay. Alright. Let's continue exploring. This is a rather large area. Yes. You can rise back up or assemble yourself or whatever. I'll just ignore you. Oh, another shrine. Which is not terribly exciting though. Okay. Is it a desecrated one? Yes. Rygonaunt. Dropped Golemborn Greaves. Okay. I think I've had that item at least once during this run. Alright, seems there's a lot of enemies here. There's another lore note down there. My voice has been strained quite a bit during this episode though, so I'll leave it for later. Dynamite chest. Don't mind me running past you to blow up that. Yeah, it seems I'm constantly having to resummon the pets now. So the game is getting a bit more difficult. But where is the next rift gate? Well, it's going to be somewhere in the east. Here is a totem and a lore note though. So much stuff to read. So much stuff to kill. So many things to loot. Alright, that's a lot of enemy champions. Death-marked claw. Cold sword. Goes without saying that I won't be equipping it. Yet I said it. Another blueprint for a relic. Alright. Inventory is getting full again. Hopefully I can find the next rift gate. Yeah, okay, there it is.
My inventory is
Okay, and the inventory is full. Okay, whatever. Let's just leave that there. Let's see if there's anything of interest here, though. Still a lot left to uncover, but seems like nothing important. Alrighty. So let's grab the rift gate and I will head back to town to sell the junk. And I will do that on my own time. It's been long enough. So thank you for watching and I shall see you next time.